Greetings and welcome to the Solution Podcast, the space where we find constructive solutions to our everyday problems. We have a major story in local football to dive into today. In a move that has shifted eyes within the Jamaican football landscape, Old Harbour United Football Club, under new owner Jabari Baker, a former player turned businessman, have acquired Spanish Town Police FC, marrying a thriving community football club with a Premier League entity. This means the reigning St. Catherine Football Division 1 champions will cease senior competitive play to become a full-time academy with a direct pathway now leading to the top flight via Spanish Town Football FC. It's a bold, innovative and complex play. We are thrilled to welcome the man at the center of it all, the new owner of Old Harbour United and Spanish Town Police FC, Mr. Jabari Baker, to the Solution Podcast. Jabari, welcome to our fourth episode. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Before we get into the who and the what and the why and all of that, just briefly tell us, who is Jabari Baker, and also a synopsis of the Old Harbour Football Club.
Okay. First, I want to say thank you for having me. I'm Jabari Baker. I'm a native of Old Harbour Bay and currently reside in the United States. Past student of Old Harbour and GC Foster College, and I'm a businessman in the United States, as you might know. I own a trucking company and I'm also a truck driver as well. So yeah, Old Harbour United came about we started the club in 2022, around October. So we started out in the St. Catherine Division 1. So I think we played 22-23 season. We dropped out in the first round of the competition pretty much. We didn't make it to the semi-final. So the other year, we regrouped and come again and won the competition, 23-24 season. And we got promoted to the Major League, which we played our first season in the Major League last year, 24, and we didn't make it to the semi-final. So, we started preparation in September of last year, a couple months ago, and this challenge came about where Spanish Town FC, I know the owner very well. I keep close with him, talk very well, he's a friend of mine. So I'm the one who brought it to him and asked him if, I'm interested in the club, would you sell it to me? And, he asked me for an offer and I gave him my offer and he accepted it. So that's how Spanish Town Police came about.
All right. So I know you're not personally, but I know that you are a very passionate football fan. Clearly wanted to become a world-known player. It didn't happen. You decided that you want to be an administrator,
right,
of the game. In this case, through Old Harbour United. But when we saw the story, we were like, wow, this is a big move. What was your motivation to make this move to acquire Spanish Town Police FC?
The motivation, I think my biggest dream was I always want to see a Premier League team in Old Harbour. I always want to know that we have a Premier League team. And that's the reason why I started this football club. Yeah. To take it to the highest level, which is the Premier League. So, like I said, when the opportunity came about, I just grab it with both hands and, ensure that we got the club before someone else. Mm-hmm. I understand? But the motive was always to become a club in the Jamaica Premier League.
Yeah. Well, we know Old Harbour has produced so many talented players who have gone on to represent the country, represent
right,
other clubs across the country. But how would the relationship between Old Harbour United and the academy well, Old Harbour United Academy, and football, Spanish Town Police Football
Football
Club.
club.
How will that work in a very practical sense in terms of you know your structure, your operations?
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, I can tell you it's not a easy one, because it's not like we acquire the club in the beginning of the season. We're pretty much in the middle of the season right now, so the competition is going. So we have to. Right now, we're rushing everything pretty much. Trying to get the players, like the Old Harbour players, to be a part of the Spanish Town, so we can get them, into the Premier League and get the correct squad that we need. You understand? So it's a lot of work right now. It's not easy, but we're doing our best to ensure that we have the right players, the proper players, the coaches of the best players, so we can put out there. And we get in there. So hopefully by next game we should have probably like 10 more players added to the squad.
Ideally, I want you to paint for me the structure that you have in your mind, that you think this is the structure that will now get the best out of the players.
Structure wise, I'm looking at like players from the Old Harbour team, because that's what I want. That's what I personally want. I want, like, players from my community to be a part of it, and we plan to use them, especially the younger guys, and develop them and bring them through the system.
Right. So, is it that you have like a president, vice president, your general secretary, your treasurer, um, your team manager? I mean, have you identified all of those positions already,
Yeah.
and identify the people?
Right.
Because that is also key. You alone can't do everything.
Exactly.
So
Living overseas.
exactly. So I mean, how all those processes have been identified?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have your regular team. You have your regular no management meeting.
Yes, man. We have a.
Who are some of the persons on as part of your
So
executive?
myself is the president. We have Faison Walters. He also resides overseas. He's the vice president, and we have Demar Emily. He's the manager, and Sheena Gay Richards is the secretary, and Dwight Smith is the head coach, and Kemar Gentry is the assistant coach. We also have a goalkeeper coach, Mark Morgan, and we also have a trainer, like a physical trainer, um, Dwight White. He's also a coach and a teacher of Old Harbour as well. So we have a nice structure, man. And yeah, those people are what I already would have at Old Harbour United. So I just brought them over to Spanish Town.
So the when you issue that press release, um, it says that it is a strategic move, or the decision is very strategic. Can you sort of walk us through the long term vision
Yeah.
of this strategy? Is this the you know the ultimate goal, to have a Old Harbour Academy develop the players and feeding them directly into the Premier League club? I figure more or less that's part of the long term goal.
Yes, of course. That was always the aim. That was always the vision to ensure we have a team in the Premier League, and having those younger players coming up through the system. 'Cause we plan to have like a proper youth system, like from starting from like under 10, 12, 14 come up, so they can be like a feeder program for the Premier League team. Like I said, everything just happened so fast. Of course, we never have planned to do all of this year, but it's here now, and we have to do our best and try to make it work. But the goal right now, the main focus right now, is to ensure that we stay in the Premier League.
Currently at the bottom of the Premier League.
Right.
Right. Um, about how many points I think you might need to stay up?
Based on what I saw over the previous years, I think we need roughly like 35, 33 points. Yeah. We have only 8.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of work, you understand?
The the academy, I know similar like in Europe and in America, you like you said you'd have the under 10s. Is it a case where these youngsters will go to school at the academy? You'll have teachers coming in and teaching them, which I mean you will naturally adopt the Ministry of Education model
um,
in terms of teaching though I'm talking.
right.
But it will be just football that they will be focusing on in terms of extracurricular.
I mean, rightfully, that's how it should be done. That's how it should be done. But we're not at that level right now where we can get them to properly structured as a real academy. But what we're focusing on right now is to have them playing like um, not promotional football, but like competitive football here and there, just to keep them in competition and but not like we're not at that level right now to like for example like a Mount Pleasant where they got like their own schools and yeah, but hopefully in the future that's where we want to be.
So it's a case currently now where if my son or my daughter, because I'm sure you'll be open to girls at under 10 level, um, and they're interested in playing football. We live in Old Harbour. It's going to be a case where you will have schedule maybe on the weekends, and then certainly during the holidays, I would say, you'll have programs where they will now come in. We drop them off, and we pick them up back at
Yes.
certain time.
Yes,
That's how it will operate now.
Right, definitely. As of
Okay.
right now.
Okay,
And we're
understand.
looking to start, like, especially the younger kids, we're looking to start very soon because we have a competition coming up in the summer in the US, under 15 competition. So we're gonna start off with like the under 15 as of right now, and then we'll take it from there.
So the fact that you have decided to acquire Police FC, Spanish Town Police FC, you automatically have to relinquish the Division One title that you just won. So you won't be playing Major League,
No.
right? Um, was that for you a difficult decision to make? That I mean, you're moving the entire club operations away from competitive football into a more dedicated academy model.
No, I would say probably it was like one of the easiest decisions because like if you get an opportunity to be a part of the Premier League, like I said, that's the top level. I think every club in Jamaica, Major League, whether in Division or Major League, I think everyone like share the same ambition, you know, and because even the academy, like one of the main reasons why we say okay, we're gonna focus on the academy this year is because we didn't know that we could have changed Spanish Town name right now. We just learned that like a week ago. So the plan was to continue with Spanish Town FC at least for this season, and then transform Old Harbour United into a academy because we don't want to just shut it down. You understand? I want to keep the name and all of that. So that was the main reason behind it. But now we learned that we can change to Old Harbour right now and still be in the Premier League. So right now we're working on that.
So you change the name mid-season? You,
Right.
you can change the name
Right.
mid-season?
Yeah, like I said, we just learned that. Didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully, like in a week or so, it should be like Old Harbour United in the Premier League and not Spanish Town FC.
So going forward, then the name Spanish Town Police FC will be too utterly abandoned.
Yes.
Okay. Um, so you would have, well, I mean, naturally you'd have one technical director. But what about the players though, currently in their setup now?
In Spanish Town.
So right.
I mean, we bought the franchise with the players, so those players automatically become our players. So I mean, they're our players. They're here. They're the one playing right now, and I've been playing for the past 3 games since we took over. So yeah, they're our players. I mean, we have.
You get the sense of from those players and even within your players, given the move
Yeah,
that you have
yeah,
made?
yeah. Of course, they're doing their best. They're trying. They want to help the team. They show up to training every day. They're working hard. It's just that we're not getting the result that we wanted right now. And of course, we're looking to make some changes because if you keep losing every week, that means you're not doing something right. You understand? So we're about to make some drastic changes, especially this week, where players concerned.
Let me look. So, so what happens now with the existing players at Old Harbour United? Um, the coaching setup, because Spanish Town would have had their set of coaches, their own setup. You would have had the same thing as well. So, how do you plan now to merge to merge that into one? Clearly, some people will have to leave, and some people will stay.
Some people already left.
Okay.
Yeah, some people already left. As of right now, we only have the physio from the Spanish Town board. Yeah. So that's it as of right now.
So you call that transition a very smooth one then so far? The fact that they would have given you the space or the leeway to do what you need to do.
It was an easy transition. It wasn't any. We didn't find any difficulty in doing it, and like I said, we already have a board at Old Harbour, so I just move over all those people. And we're still looking to develop the board, and we're still searching for people who want to be a part.
So Spanish Town is in deep relegation. Um, you say you plan to make some changes this week. What are those changes?
I mean, we plan to bring in players. We plan to bring in some experienced players or players that we think can help us. It's a transfer season. I think every club is doing that right now. So yeah. Any part
Already secured?
Uh,
And I figure more or less these are players with perhaps Premier League experience.
right. I wouldn't want to mention any player right now because they are not our players, but they're definitely a couple. Like I said, we should. Right. We will sign in some. We will be signing some new players this week.
So, in terms of the challenge though, what are some of the biggest challenges you face now since the acquisition of Spanish Town, or perhaps you want to call it a merger in some instances? What are the biggest challenges you think you are facing right now that you must deal with now? I figure more or less the bringing in new players to try and stay up is one.
Right, yeah.
But what about the other challenges?
Everything right now is a challenge. Everything right now is a challenge because we have it's pretty much 2 teams. So every night we have over 60, 70 players at training. It's not easy to. We're trying to give everyone a fair chance. We're trying to give everybody the opportunity, including the Old Harbour and the Spanish Town players. Plus, there are also new players from other Premier League clubs that want to be a part. So it's not easy to look at everybody, and then we're trying to. I would say rush, but we're trying to do it as swiftly as possible because we're in the competition. We need points, so I would say that is the biggest challenge we have right now. But everything is a challenge. Trust me, it's not easy to be in the Premier League. It's very difficult. You have to be very organized, especially on match day. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. And like I said, we're looking for more people to join us, and people want to be a part. People want to help us, and ensure that we'll have a club in the Premier League and the club stay up. Yeah, this is not like a couple months thing or a 1 year thing or whatever. We're doing it for the future. So.
What about the squad size? I mean, said that there are about 60 persons at training.
Yeah.
Um, just you want to you have to trim that down to
As I
maybe
think,
about 25.
no, I would say around 30,
But
35.
okay.
Yeah, but and we have to do that like we have like what probably like 11, 10 more days to do all of that while playing games. You understand? So, but it's a big challenge, man. Trust me, it's a big challenge because like it's two team combined, you know. So and like I stated before, we want to give everyone a fair chance. So it's not like we're at a point now where we have to just tell players like it's not working out and you know uh, you have to move on. Yeah, I think we're going to do that this week. We're going to let go a lot of players and we pretty much have to put the squad together now.
You would have read these things, I mean, at big clubs, merger, acquisition, whatever term you want to use. But now you are now in the the, 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 the thrust of all of this now, um, owning a club and you know getting the club properly organized. It must be an eye opener for you having this no personal experience because I mean, like I said, these are things that we would have read with clubs going through transition. For example, at Manchester United, when they have the new owners, at Chelsea, right? And you read the stories and the issues that comes up. This player want to leave, the new coach and this big star can't agree, the club not winning points, all of that. They're not winning games. But now you have to deal with that.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, we might not be an elite club like a Chelsea or Manchester United, but we are facing the same problems. Trust me.
Yeah, so for what that experience has been like for you?
Ah, it's a good experience because I love football. Like whatever I do where football is concerned, I always try my best to enjoy it, and I think I'm enjoying it right now. Because I'm a player myself. I wouldn't say stress. It's not stress for me, but because once you're enjoying something, then the stress automatically go away. Even if you're stressing, you don't really feel it because you like what you're doing. You understand? So it's all right. We will get there. Hmm.
You're sleeping well?
Ah, no. No, I can't tell you, no. I haven't get a good sleep
You
in
keep
like
you keep you
2
keep
weeks now.
trying to find solutions to
Hmm.
to everything to
Yes,
everything.
sir.
Um, it's it's really fascinating. And it's good that somebody like us, young and ambitious, and see the potential of Old Harbour, and really want to put the name of Old Harbour out there on the map through through sports in this particular case now. So I mean, that is really really commendable in my view. Um, the the community of Old Harbour though, has been around for for centuries. They we are known also to support the our football, and especially Old Harbour United, because I think Old Harbour United would have been the, in terms of name and a established club, Old Harbour United would have been that that team that once you're associated with football, you always you always know of or think of the name Old Harbour United because they have been around for many many years. Just different management. Um, they how how have the community reacted though to this move? What's the feedback you have been getting from those persons in the community?
Feedback has been positive. It's been a positive feedback, like especially in the first week when we acquired the club, like it's all over the place. Everyone talking about it. I got a lot of phone call, a lot of message, from even people overseas, telling me congratulations and it's a good move. So the feedback has been really good, really good. And I know the community they can't wait to be a part. Like they can't wait to see the actual team playing in Old Harbour. I think that's what most people want to see right now. Yeah.
I know we have to meet certain standards in terms of having an approved playing field for that you call it that is Premier League accredited or Premier League approved. Do you see us having that? Because I mean, I think the football field up by the ministry of health, the
Education.
Ministry of Education. Not too sure how much that would be considered an approved facility, but I'm sure you would have seen some sort of guidelines by now in terms of what will it take for to have an approved field that is approved by the Premier League. How and where and when you think we'll be able to get to that state?
Okay, so we at Sawyer Oval right now, and we're trying our best right now to. Yeah, that's where we're training right now. So we're trying our best to get the facility to meet the regulations, so we can have the games played there. Because right now we're doing some work to develop the whole facility. Yeah, because we have to have stands. Yeah, fencing, field have to be up to certain standard, changing room, all of that. But I don't think. Uh, yes, I would say it have the space, and but I don't see us playing there this season though. Yeah,
Clearly.
hopefully next season if all goes well.
Have you been looking for any land to perhaps maybe just create something new?
Yeah, from ever since I started the club, I've been looking for land.
How many acres?
And
You can use it not for
uh,
5
yeah, exactly. 5-6 acre would have been nice, because especially we're planning to do the whole academy thing. So
everything will be just
right.
in one location. Okay.
That's what I would personally want.
If you get something like that though, how, what's the maximum capacity in terms of spectator you're really looking at?
A nice size Premier League, like to fit the Jamaican. I would say probably like a 4,000, 5,000 seating. Yeah, around that capacity. Yeah, I think 5,000 be like a nice little stadium.
Well, I mean, hopefully somebody watching this now can take up the phone and call you and say I have a piece of land I can I can sell you something.
I can give it.
But just looking at it though, I think to really get a proper venue that is fenced, maybe for next season, maybe you should try to start to have some discussion with Jamaica Boilers and see what about that area by Spring Village, because perhaps you could just get some stands that you just need to erect around the facility. Them have a ground staff I think already there who manages the facility. So maybe some sort of arrangement you perhaps could start think of. I'm just throwing that to you for you to consider, because I mean, I see if we should stay up and you definitely would want to have matches within the space, and unless you have more money than we think of, you can transform Sawyer in overnight.
We're trying our best with Sawyer. I would love for it to happen, but like I said, it's not going to be this season. That much I can say. Seasons, right?
Latter half of the season now, so it could happen. But for next season, see what can happen. But if not, maybe you should see how best maybe some sort of partnership can be established between yourself and Jamaica Boilers out by Spring Village because the space is there. I remember under Rene Simoes' I think it's second tenure being in charge of the Reggae Boys. They had a, tr- a trial game where you had some players from within the Old Harbour space. I remember Prophet even played in that game. Yeah. Um, just to look at some other players, and they had some national players who he would consider part of his core, and they played there.
Where the game took
Spring Village, up by Spring Village, up by the Jamaica Boilers field. The best dressed chicken field in Spring Village, yeah, up there. So I know the space is there. I know the space is there. So maybe that's something that you guys can think of from now. Because if you stay up, then you could play games there. And even if you don't stay up there, at least you still can have games here. It's already fenced. You can collect gate receipts from there. So yeah, you that's something that you could definitely look towards. Because Old Harbour need it though. That's for sure. It is needed. And I like the idea that how you want to give the natives from within the Old Harbour space the opportunity to become part of the academy, because that is how you maintain that strong culture between community and club. Because we see that in Liverpool, we see that in Manchester, we see that in London, in England. Those clubs, there's a strong connection between the community and the clubs. We see at Steven Gerrard at Liverpool, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jamie Carragher. All of those guys are native Liverpoolians, and they eventually got the opportunity to play at the highest level. So that is good. In terms of your size of your academy, though, and I know it's open to girls. A lot of mothers and women out there. Women's football is something that we need to work on. So the space is open for girls too as well to come to be a part of the academy. What is it that you like with, for example, like a Mount Pleasant system that you think makes it so successful now? Because Harbour View for many years set the trend, and I think a lot of persons are really looking at a Mount Pleasant now in terms of their system. What is it that you really like about the Mount Pleasant system that you certainly would definitely adopt here?
Yeah, what I like about Mount Pleasant is, and it's something that I don't know if Harborview have, but I don't think they have that. That 5-6 acre of land that we spoke about earlier.
Right.
Yeah, they got something like that and they develop it and build a couple of football fields around their facility. So that's something that I really admire about Mount Pleasant. Because having just one field, it's not going to go a far way. So that's what I like that they did. Because if you look at like the big clubs, that's what they all got. They got 10, 12 football field for all level of their own field.
Right.
And I see Mount Pleasant doing that right now. So
You don't limit your development
right.
in that regard. Everybody can come and have access to the facility and train as well. This certainly will add to strengthening our football culture in Jamaica, right? Having another academy, having this particular kind of structure. From your perspective, though, what are the most critical gaps in player development that you think is lacking in our own as a country, in Jamaica's own football academy model? What are those gaps you would have seen and clearly wants to address, given the fact that you have decided not to
And
set
that's
up your
why,
own academy.
that's why I admire Mount Pleasant so much, because I don't think in Jamaica we take the grassroots level of football very seriously. We don't, yeah, and that has been killing us for many years. We're waiting until kids reach 14, 15, 16 before you can even see them. Or now, you got the high school under four. I think it starts from like under 14, but that's not enough. We need academy where kids can start develop from 7, 8 years old. So that's one of the main thing I think is killing the Jamaican football. We don't have that. I mean, it's getting a little better now, because when I say like Mount Pleasant and a couple other football clubs doing it, so it's definitely we're getting there. But over the years, that was one of our main issue, where we wasn't developing our meet the criteria of other clubs
How,
in the country.
how important it is to get the kids them that early?
It's very important. It's very, very important, because at that stage, you're pretty much teaching the kids mainly how to control and pass the ball, how to, maneuver the football and take control of it and everything. Like for me, we never have that. Like we pretty much start like when we get to high school. Yeah, because primary school wasn't enough. We play like a 1 month competition in high school, in primary school for the year, and that was that. We have to learn that on our own. So when you have that and you have the kids at certain age and somebody over them teaching them how to control and pass a football, it's really really important, and that can play a big part in developing them.
You're so right enough, because we have seen players who, when they get called to the national program, the bad habits that they would have developed at age 14 and 15 and 16, and the fundamentals of also how to play the game, the simple control that you talk about, the simple ability to pass the ball properly. And I can tell you, they one of my biggest pet peeve in watching our Premier League players and the national players play the game as well is just how we do not do the basics properly.
The simple thing.
The same control and pass to square the ball. Just to go down the flank and square the ball properly. Get it in the box properly. I can tell you that most Premier League players right now, you give them the ball, put it down the channel, tell them to square it, and you want it on the penalty spot, it would probably like 5 out of 10. That would be the average score. You won't get them giving you 7 and 8 out of 10. And that stems from the fact that they weren't taught the game, the fundamentals of the game, that early. Right. Simple thing as to open up your body to receive the ball. How to make a properly weighted pass. Just that. I think also one of the things is to understand their position of play. So if I'm playing right back, there's a fundamental principle of how to play the role of a right back. There's a fundamental principle of how to play the role of a defensive midfielder or an attacking midfielder. Right? We those things are so lacking in our play. But as you rightly put it, it is because they haven't been taught the game. And I think also many persons keep on forgetting that there's a big difference between teaching the game and coaching the game. They are two separate things, right? A teacher of a football is different from the coach of a football, right? Because, and just for those who are listening, when you're a coach, you're coaching to win. That's the primary objective of the coach. A teacher is for you to master the fundamentals and understand the principles of the game. And we have seen there are just too many of our players, when they come to the Premier League and into the national program, it's obvious that they are clearly not knowledgeable as to how the game is played. And we also now tend to now glorify those players who we'll call the brokebo, the skillful players them. But we see sometimes how the skillful player just break down the game. Right? He's not, when he has the ball, he doesn't advance the play and increase the chance of the team to score a goal. He tends to break down the play. But we said this one is the best player.
That's what we like,
Yeah, you understand me?
That's what we like.
Right. So the academy is so fundamental in that respect.
It is.
Because now you understand that when you have those skill set, if you are a very skillful player and you understand the game, the fundamental principles of the game, then now you will make the team better.
Right. It's hard for you to not to be a professional if you have that level and then you understand the game from a later stage. It's
Exactly. So it is so crucial. It's one of the gaps, like I said. It's a pet peeve of mine. I'll tell you a quick story. So when I was at the Observer, I covered a under 20 World Cup final run qualifiers in Mexico. You have guys like Ricardo Cousins, who was part of that team as well. And we got knocked out I think we finished fourth. USA, Mexico, and I think Costa Rica went to the under 20 World Cup. And coming back on the plane, they were talking about how is it that the guy, this guy, I think it was a number 12 from the US, dynamic wide player, right? Left-footed, neat and tidy on the ball, very good up and down. Understood. He knew when to go, when to stay, when to come on the inside. But clearly the instruction from the coach was for him to hug the line. That youngster scored 1 goal but had about 4 or 5 assists in the tournament. Right? And some of our players now coming back, they were like, how is it that this young man got MVP for the tournament?
Yeah.
And some of them were like, he's not good.
Only score 1 goal.
He only scored 1 goal. And they were looking at it from that perspective that, I mean, he not really can't beat nobody because all he did was that he knew when to go, when to attack the space.
Yeah.
And he also knew when to... His square was brilliant. His crosses were brilliant. Like textbook, David Beckham-esque. Textbook kind of crosses, right? Every time he squares the ball, there was an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? And they couldn't see that. They couldn't see that. That is the reason why he got the MVP. Right? Because they were like, but he not take on nobody and beat nobody. He didn't need to.
Yeah, not salad no man.
Yes, him not salad and pile nobody. And in their view, they were like, yo, him not good.
Right.
But the young man clearly understood the fundamental principles of his position. His timing was always perfect. And he created problems for every single defender of the opposing team that they played during the tournament. Every single one had problems with him. Because he knew when to go. He was quick, right? He used that to his advantage. He knew when to go behind the defenders. But I tell you, man, that young man, I can't remember his name right now, but his crosses were lethal, right? His crosses was like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 in terms of accuracy, right? And that is clear to me that he was properly taught. So when a coach gets a player like that, it's a joy for a coach. It's a joy for a coach because now he doesn't have to be doing a lot of the teaching, right? He clearly understands the principle of the game. So I am happy that you are looking at it that way and you see that. Do you see though, or do you believe that developing more football academies as the blueprint to really improve our our football nationally, the quality of our play?
Yeah, I think me personally, I think every club should operate as an academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we when I look at Europe, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Our club is pretty much an academy, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not about like player sales or anything like that, but just the development. Because you can't sell a player if he's not properly developed, if he's not good enough for one of the elite club to see him.
Right.
So they spend a lot of time in the academy. It's very, very important.
Yeah.
And also, I think that is one of the main reason why, like when you see our players go to Europe, they don't normally perform up to standard because the simple things, the passing, the controlling, know how to cover your zone and defending. I don't think we know how to do that. Like we're still learning at a big age. We're still learning that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And those
As
are
an attacking player, we don't need to defend.
exactly.
Most of our attacking players, even in the Premier League, do not know how
Even
to
right
defend.
now, even today,
do not know how to defend.
right now.
Yeah.
So you see where the problem lies.
Yeah.
And that's why I said the academy it's really important, man. Trust me. And then even for our coaches, like we have some very good coaches in Jamaica right now, some very, very good one, but they can't really get to focus on coaching because
They have to be teaching.
they have to be teaching. So you see how important it is.
Yeah.
It will help everybody. It will help the players. It will help the coach. Everybody will be better
Let me
off.
put this to you though. So, when the academy is up and running, is it the case where it is the academy side of it, when you get to like a Mount Pleasant though, where you have players, that's the school they attend. They attend Mount Pleasant Football Academy. That's the school. Is it that parents now would have to now pay a fee, just like at a prep school, where you have to pay?
Yeah.
No, that's how it would work.
Yeah, that's how it will work. Because even to say you have like you announce like a trials or something like that where you want kids to come out, you're gonna have an admission, just to even to help with the gears or the equipment, yeah.
So I can hear a parent say, boy, that's all like a whole heap of money now. We have to go fight.
No, when we start, we're not going to do anything where it's going to be affordable.
Yeah.
It's going to be affordable for everyone.
It's not like some of those elite prep schools.
Right, and even if the way players come and say they can't find the fee, like we're not going to turn away anyone.
Especially if it's an exceptional talent.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're not
The reward will come.
Yes, the reward will come. The aim is just to teach them. Teach them at this age and make sure that they learn the right thing right now, the simple thing, the basic things.
Do you see yourself in terms of having a quota for the academy?
Yeah.
About how many children at the academy would you consider ideal?
Probably around 500 because we're looking at like we want to start from like under 10, 12, 14 all the way up to under 19, under 20. So in every team you want at least 30 players.
Okay.
Along with the senior team.
There's a thing in football, well, in sports in general, that I think we also tend not to focus on. But now that you have the academy, we know that not every one of those players will end up playing the game. How important is it also to teach them the administrative aspect of the sport? So therefore, you have a game, you need the equipment manager. You need somebody who is managing that. You need somebody who is writing the notices and the memos and whatnot to go out.
Yeah, and I think in the school itself, like Mount Pleasant, like what they're doing, like they're teaching the kids. I think like those are some of the areas that they taught them in the school, in the classroom.
Right.
How to not just become a footballer, but how to be administrator of the game. You know, to be a coach, or to be a physio, a referee. Yeah, I think all those. Yes, physio, all of that.
You you are living in the States. It's a Philadelphia, to be exact.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania,
Not Philly,
Pennsylvania, right? Have you gone to other clubs in that state or other state and look at their academy?
always, yeah, always. 'Cause especially where I live, there are a lot.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's like a little area, and
What are some of the things you have picked up just observing what they do
Um,
there?
I always like whenever I go to any one of them, I always, even if I'm driving by,
Uh-huh.
I always observe the facility. The facility play a very important part of, you know, the development and everything. And I always look at it and I say, even you go to high school in America, and when you look like every school have a nice stadium. They have proper football field, not only football, but you know, other sports. But you know, I always right, and I always pay a lot of attention to that. And I'm like, you know, I know America is a first world country, so but when I can look at a high school of a nice stadium that could, you know, easy, and it's better than all of our Premier League stadium out there. You know, exactly. You know, so those are the first thing that I always admire, and you know, I always tell myself that, you know, I want something like this in Old Harbour.
One other thing I admired going to some of these first world countries though is also very simple the design of these stadiums. Very, very simple. So for example, I remember being in Montreal and the the football stadium was by and large just some aluminum stands. The field is in immaculate condition. First world. They they have proper light towers, right? So easily could play night games, right? And they have the changing room, but the changing room was the only concrete structure, but everything else is aluminum seating, and they have a mound. I think the mounds were behind the goals, right? And I think the capacity was about 15 to 20,000, and I was like, what? So you could easily pull up the stands, and take it somewhere else. So I am saying that that is something that we should be looking to do quite a lot here, rather than having a lot of these brick and mortar, right? Because if you need to expand, it's a simple thing to pull down the stands and do the expansion, right? So that is something that I think we should be big on, right? But back to the academy for Old Harbour United. I know, especially in Africa, but you tend to have a lot of clubs in Europe who they have established feeder programs with a lot of the football clubs in Africa, all across the continent. You hear of a club in Ghana, and you realize that they have a partnership with Chelsea. So Chelsea, for example, will get first rights of refusal to their best players coming out of that academy. Is that part of your thinking too?
Yeah, of course. You know, you have to, like I said, you always want to be with the elites. You know, so if, like, say, for example, a Chelsea or a Arsenal approach you, it will be pretty easy to let them know that, yeah, we want to do that.
Yeah.
Because, especially in America, that's what I noticed. All of the big clubs,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
clubs in the top
partnership with
five,
Europeans.
they have,
With Europeans as well.
they have a lot of academy in the US.
Right.
PSG, Man City, all of them. So yeah.
Well, it's something that I think is a must, because it provides economic stability, because once that player goes abroad, and even to join their academy, there is some windfall when that player is sold
Yeah, yeah.
or um, makes it into the first team for that club. There is a big incentive for your club here.
Yeah, right.
How What are the sort of advice though you are getting? Do you have like a legal team behind you just in case you need to make sure that
Yeah,
all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed?
come on, yeah, we do have a legal team.
Because that's crucial to football,
Come on,
because that helps with the generalship and everything,
right. I mean, once it's a business, then you want to make sure that you're getting legal advice and whatever you're doing. So
Um, so I want you to. We are in fresh in the year 2026. 5 years from now is 2031. I would want you to paint me, and I want you to go as deep as possible, and paint me that vision that you would definitely we should expect to see Old Harbour United in 5 years from now. Paint me that picture for me, please.
okay, in football, 5 years is not a very long time. Especially when you're doing development. It's not a very long time. But now that we are in the Premier League, so we're at the highest level right now. So we have to think at the highest level. So I would say 5 years from now we should be challenging for the Premier League, or at least playing the CFU. That's where I see the club in 5 years from now, challenging with the top teams in the country. And regarding facility wise, hopefully by 5 years we can have that stadium. We can have the academy up and running where we have like multiple football field and everything in place. I know, like I said, it's 5 years a short amount of time, but hopefully we can be there by that time.
I know when persons hear the name acquisition,
Mm-hmm.
um, football, we think of a lot of money, but we know that a club can be sold for $1, right?
Right.
You care to share in terms of was there the dollar value to acquire?
Yes, there was a dollar value, but it's not something that I would like to share with the public. So but yeah, we bought it for some.
How was the advice been getting though from like the JFF? Because I know you said you have been meeting with them in terms of how the process, um, the procedure that you must follow to complete this process. How has that been like?
It has been an easy one, and I must say, the JFF. I don't know if they operate like this with everyone else, but they have been really good to us. They reach out to us practically every day, ensuring that we are doing the right thing. They help us and ensure that we stay in compliance and following the guidelines and the regulation and everything. Like they call us like or email us like I said every day. Yeah, to make sure that they know we're a new club and they know it's our first time in the Premier League. So, but kudos to them because they're really helping us. They're really helping us.
I mentioned the community and club relationship.
Hmm.
What's one of the programs or strategy you certainly will be doing as you morphed into this professional setup in terms of ensuring that you strengthen the relationship between community and club, and of course giving back to the community is crucial.
Hmm.
But what's one particular thing that is definitely a must for you?
it's really important to be a part, like, of the community, be involved. Right now we don't have anything planned, like to say we're gonna do something or probably like an event or anything like that, because we have a lot on our plate right now, and we're trying to not to lose focus on staying in the Premier League. And like I said before, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but we do have future plans to and do stuff in the community, and get the people involved more, of course. But as of right now, not anything planned at the moment. But hopefully, a couple months from now.
Sponsorship is important, especially establishing long-term deals. I mean, we see at the elite level where you have a club. The stadium is sponsored um, by big brands. We see here locally where you see, for example, at a Mount Pleasant, a Harbour View, a Waterhouse, you have billboards around the stadium. Um, I know you alone can't fund it for too long, right? Um, what's the plan to really, you know, seek long-term sponsorship deals that will certainly help help with you becoming that professional entity that you seek to be.
And as you stated, like sponsorship, any sports organization you're running, sponsorship plays a vital part. And we reach out. We reach out to a lot of company, a lot of business places in Old Harbour. Hopefully, we can partner with one of them or a couple of them. That's something I would like to put out there, that we want the businesses, especially in Old Harbour, to play their part, and this is a community team. We want them to be a part and see what they can do to help with the team and help with funding and whatever they can help with. It doesn't have to be money or food, anything at all. They can help with the wholesale. I mean, we have two commercial banks in the town right now. We have Juicy Beef, Restaurant Jamaica, a lot of big company, a lot of big corporate companies. So hopefully, even one of them can join us, because we reach out to all of them. So hopefully we can hear back from them very soon, and somebody want to be a part.
The, the issue of sponsorship is so important. Um, and I just do hope that the corporate Jamaica will come on board. But there's this culture also where corporate tend to only come on board when you're succeeding, right? And that's certainly one of the challenges, because you're struggling right now, and to attract sponsorship, especially mid-season.
Right.
You'd have to be a good sales rep now.
You can help is needed, man. But
Yeah.
definitely, man, nobody don't want to be a part of losing. Everybody want to be a winner. Everybody want to jump on the winning team. So, and that is why we are so focusing on getting the right players in the team, where we can start, pick up a few points here and there, get the name. We don't want every time you hear Old Harbour United on the TV, hear that they lose, or yeah. So the most important thing right now is to get the squad together and ensure that they're doing the right thing, so we can start win some games and put our names out there more.
I would love for you to how would you pitch to a Jamaica Boilers, for example? Given your current state now, how would you pitch to them to convince them that they need to support you?
The easiest and the fastest way, I think, to get to, like, even like a Jamaica Boilers company, is have a connection, to know someone who directly work there or involved with the board. So yeah, that would be the easiest way. And of course, like it's a big company, so we would want them to probably be like a main sponsor. They have been around in the area for many years. So if they can partner with us and come on board and do what they're supposed to do, it will be awesome.
Yeah, but the Boilers now said this. What's in it for me?
Of course, there's you when you're talking about sponsor, you want to always ensure that there's something in it for them. And When you mention like Waterhouse or Harbourview, they have like a lot of billboards around the stadium. Probably we could do something like that, and probably we can brand the stadium with just their brand. But yeah,
For decades now, I've been. This is this. I've gone 25 years now in media and communication and journalism. I've covered many a football games, right? And I remember over the years doing stories, listening, going to football award ceremony, and you will hear the owners of clubs will tell you that it is not a profitable venture. They, for example, at the Premier League level, they, you, the annual budget, given what existed back then, some 20 years ago, right? The annual budget for a Premier League club was over $10 million per annum. I am almost certain now that is now twice
yeah,
the figure now, right? At least twice.
this year.
The payout from the Premier League is nowhere near your budget. Why do you feel like you can change this right now and make a profit from it?
I mean, whatever you're doing, you have to believe. Firstly, you have to believe, and I think to make a profit from like football in general, because even when you look at the big clubs, yeah, they have 60, 70,000 people filling their stadium every week. They make massive amount from that, and merchants and stuff like that. Yeah, but right now, speaking in Jamaica, is what I think help the clubs is sponsor. Sponsor, like if you can get a main sponsor on board and partner with somebody and they can help you with, or more than one sponsor, if you can probably 3, 4 can help you with the season for a couple of years, and it can happen. It can happen, and then and that's one of the things to why I think the academy is very important, because when you can have a little kid developing, yes, it's gonna take time, it's gonna take a year, but you never know where that kid going to end up on the professional level. And that one kid, trust me, that one kid can run your club for many years.
True.
And just one kid, that's all it takes. So you have to just believe and
If you sell one player for £5 million, um,
you can operate a club with that for many years.
yeah.
And Jamaican.
So that's the goal, to at least try and sell
Yes, man, of
sell
course.
sell a, sell,
Yeah.
a, sell a player where you can make back get back a return. So it's not so much on your gate receipts, because we do not have the population size,
Right, we
as
don't
you
have the
said.
population.
So it's really would be through sales of players, especially from the academy,
Right.
and sponsorship. That's where you think you'll be able to stay afloat.
And hopefully, like those players can come back and help as well. You want to create that avenue for them where they can say, okay, this is my grassroots club. This is where it all started. This is my community club. So now I'm in Europe playing. They can come back, help people with some equipment or something. 'Cause it's not about like say selling a player or whatever, but what we want to do is we want to change these players' life. You understand? We have many years where, because earlier on, like you called some names, and those players are really, really good players, but as soon as they left like the high school, you don't hear back anything about them, or probably they play a couple seasons in the JPL and that's it. That's what I personally want to change. I want to have kids, 15, 16-year-old going overseas to develop their talent and make a life for themselves.
If somebody wants to, somebody especially from Old Harbour, and they want to follow the rest, follow Old Harbour United, or well, Police FC, you said the name will change. But how can they follow your progress in the Premier League, in terms of, like, for example, where will you play your your home matches, for example?
Like when we change the name?
No, this season. For the rest of the season.
Right now we're playing our home games at the Royal Lakes Oval in Spanish Town.
Okay.
That's like the closest field we could have get to Old Harbour.
You have a website that persons can
we're working on one right now.
See the latest what's happening with the club. You have a social media page.
Yes, we do. We have
What's the name of the social media page?
Old Harbour Academy.
Old Harbour Academy?
Yes, and there's also Spanish Town Police Football Club.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have two social media.
Right now. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Just Instagram at the moment. Instagram. Yeah.
Okay.
And we're working on a website right now for Old Harbour.
Okay. So if persons want to follow you, they can just go to the Instagram page, and you put your schedule, you put your fixture up, so persons can is there an entry fee to watch your home games?
Yes.
How much is that?
There's an entry fee, $1,000.
$1,000 for adults?
Yes, and $500 for schoolers.
$500 for
schoolers.
Okay. What do you call a schoolers? Under 16, under 19, or
like start from 12 years.
12 and under.
Under 12 is free.
Under 12. Okay. How has the crowd attendance been so far? Especially the fact that you're not doing so well.
Today was our first game.
For the New Year?
No, at the Royal Lakes.
At Royal Lakes.
Yeah. So
prior to that, where you used to play?
So we Dumbe
okay.
This is our second home game.
Okay.
The first one was at Dumbe Wallen, now we're at Royal Lakes. Today was our first game at Royal Lakes. And the turnout wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
I like the idea. I like the vision. Looking forward to see how you will, integrate the community more and to become more visible. That is also key. Attracting big sponsors is also something that is important to as well. I am looking forward also to see some sort of, like I said, feeder program developed perhaps with a team in the United States, because that will be good. Because if you can get some of these youngsters start to travel overseas and play, or to get a foreign team come down and play them, especially during the summer, well, even during the winter, because maybe winter is a good time for them, right? They can escape the snow a bit. But it's something that I think, given what you have just outlined, you can go places. And we will be watching you. We will be watching you, and like I said, hopefully all the support comes in, and you'll be able to solidify your presence as a top football, not just a top football club, but in playing the game in the Premier League, but also one of the top football entities within the country and in the region that can really elevate the quality of our football, because I think that is just so lacking in our game. It irritates me sometimes watching our senior team play and watching some of our Premier League games. Yes, it irritates me. Because there's just so many missing from how we play the game. But your vision, it is something that I believe we can change that culture for the better, right? Because you have to teach the game as early as possible. Jabari, I want to thank you for coming here, and I really, like I said, want to wish you well, and we'll be keeping track of the new Old Harbour United Academy, and we're looking forward to hearing big things going forward. Thanks for coming, and all the best, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, cool. Just do it.